The Minecraft Wild update is coming soon, but what exactly does that mean? In mid-October, Minecon Live happened, and Mojang showed off some things that will be in Minecraft 1.19 The Wild update. Mojang first acknowledged the role that the community played in Caves and Cliffs Part 2.
People have been playtesting and giving us feedback, and it's just been wonderful. It feels kind of like they're colleagues helping us to build this great game.
Because of the delay, the Deep Dark was able to be expanded even more.
Because we really want to do this right and do it with super high quality.
But it was also delayed once more into 1.19. Mojang has improved updating old worlds into new updates using something called blending to avoid weird chunk borders.
To the left, we don't have blending. So then when you update your old world to the new world generation, it would just be like an ugly edge. But now, with blending, it's actually all smooth and pretty.
And adding in new caves beneath old chunks like we saw in the Bedrock betas. And that's now in the game in 1.18. Checking out this feature, I really like it. Previously you had weird chunk borders like this iceberg, but now you can really see here with the snow biome and this forest, how this biome blending works. You can see one tiny chunk there of snow that's randomly out of place, but otherwise it's fairly well blended. It goes down into a new cave, and that's pretty cool, I think. This is not perfect though, and you can see here with chunk borders on that there's a little bit of weirdness, but overall I'd say it's pretty good rather than having like a massive drop off like before. It is incredibly surreal to be seeing the new caves beneath what used to be bedrock layer. And although it'll be more work for people lighting up things like mob spawners, it's very impressive, and I'm glad that they took it this way rather than having just the giant cube of bedrock beneath the world. It makes it so much better, though there could possibly be a little bit more lag because of this. And Bedrock and Java are now going to have the same seeds.
If you create a world in Java and you think it's beautiful, you want to share with others, anyone who opens the world with that seed, regardless of which edition they're playing, will see essentially almost exactly the same thing.
I'm not sure whether they're going to standardize all Bedrock seeds to be Java.
So we're not 100% there yet, but close. It's very similar. Details will be different. But,
seed almost parity.
Or change all Java ones to be aligned with Bedrock, just because Bedrock is the one flatly called Minecraft usually. Well, Java Edition is normally separated by that subtitle, as well as Java and Bedrock are coming to Xbox Game Pass for PC and at the same time.
We debated which edition to add to the service, and decided why not add both.
Then, we were given more details about the mobs that were in the mob vote, and how Mojang decides what mobs to include.
We have a lot of ideas to work with, and we need to figure out like which ones do we want to do next. And a good way of doing that is actually playing in the game and see which areas that can be improved.
This included a few more lines about the glare.
We are thinking about ideas that in certain circumstances the glare may even help you light up these areas.
Though it was too late for this mob and it didn't get chosen in the end. Just like last year, they showed off some of the possibilities that can come from people creating for the Minecraft marketplace. It seems to me that Mojang really supports the modding community, especially with the creative program and tools like Blockbench.
The program is all about creating boxy pixely models, which makes it perfect for the Minecraft art style. Today, Blockbench supports many Minecraft formats, ranging from Bedrock Edition add-ons to Java Edition resource packs and mods.
There was a nice highlight reel of past Minecons.
They update Aquatic, Village and Pillage.
And again, Mojang acknowledged the importance of the community. Next, we got some information about the future of Minecraft dungeons in the form of seasonal adventures,
which are a new way for the player to progress through the game and increase in ranks, gather points, and hopefully get cool rewards at the end.
And new features were added as well. Mojang showed off some of the capabilities of Education Edition, and I'm kind of jealous that I didn't get to play Minecraft in school. 1.19 was announced to be none other than the Wild update. Wild was in two senses, as in nature and as scary challenges and adventures. The Deep Dark now has ancient cities. This is why it's being delayed to 1.19, because they're adding way more content than they originally thought they were going to with the Warden. These ancient cities have a structure with something interesting about it, but we don't have any information as of yet what exactly that is. And there's now more skulk blocks as well. The Skulk Catalyst is one, and it spreads skulk as mobs die near those blocks, and you get XP for mining that skulk. So you could probably create some kind of XP storage using skulk. And another one is the Skulk Shrieker. This makes a scary noise and applies a darkness effect to you. And Skulk Shrieker is what summons the Warden. This is even more terrifying than it was last year. It now has a sense of smell, making this more difficult, and as we saw at the previous Minecon, it can take down a player in full netherite no problem. For the nature part of the update, each biome gets more atmosphere and immersion.
For example, the birch forest, as you can see in this beautiful concept art. So in the birch forest we want it to be like light and peaceful, and the sun reaches the ground, the trees are taller.
We are firstly getting a swamp overhaul that includes the fabled chest boat from a previous biome vote. Mangrove trees can grow on land or in water.
So as you can see here, this is a propagule, and propagules grow from mangrove trees. They're actually like ready to grow mini mangroves growing from the mangrove. And you can see here the mangrove tree grows propped up on root blocks. It has vines hanging down from the leaves. The propagules are actually growing underneath the leaves. They actually grow from the leaves themselves.
This of course comes with a new wood type. It does seem close to jungle wood, but I'd need a proper comparison to actually tell. It's kind of like a mix between maybe jungle and oak. And along with these mangrove trees, there's going to be a mangrove swamp biome.
Walking around, you're just completely surrounded in the mangrove swamp. It's just mangroves as far as the eye can see, just like in real life. And you have all the mangroves propped up on their roots, growing in the water, so you can take your boat underneath like Agnes likes. And you're just completely surrounded by the awesome beauty of it.
There's also mud in the game now, which gives us renewable clay.
If you take your mud block and you stick it on top of the dripstone, it will sort of like drip the water out of the mud and eventually dry it out, which turns into clay.
Mud is used to make mud bricks, and I really like that change, and it'll be a good way to build a cooler looking dirt house, especially if you want an even better luxury house than the one that I made previously out of dirt. The swamp came with 2 mobs as well. There's frog mobs that are cute and derpy. Baby frogs are actually tadpoles, and they're still cute in this form.
And you can pick them up in a bucket.
Yes, and that's actually extra helpful for the tadpoles, because we have frog variants, and
where frogs grow determines what type of frog they grow up to be. So if they grow up in a cold climate, they will likely be a green frog, while the ones that are in warmer biomes like the desert, as you can see, are a whitish color.
Each frog variant's gonna have something unique that will be useful for the players.
I find that intriguing, and it causes you to have to explore different biomes if you want to collect all the frog types. From the January 5th Bedrock Beta, we've also been given a glimpse of a new block, and this is called the Froglight. What you have to do to obtain it is have a frog eat a tiny magma cube, and somehow it drops out this Froglight. Each frog variant will cause a different Froglight block to drop. It comes in 3 variants right now, Verdant, Pearlescent, and Ochre. And we also got fireflies along with frogs. They're also in the swamp. They bring life and light to the swamp biome. Frogs do eat these, and they are Minecraft's first mob that is only 2 pixels large. Last but not least, the Allay won the mob vote, and will be included in the wild update. Hopefully this has a good use for redstone, and it doesn't end up like the Phantom and the Glow Squid, where people don't necessarily like them as much as they thought that they would, considering they were the most popular mobs for that year. Thank you everyone so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please do give me a like and a sub, because that really helps me out, and I will see you all in my next video. Goodbye.